Hey, my name is Nisha and welcome to my channel, Picks by Nisha. I went to a sale and found some great jewelry, which I'm going to show you today. Excellent, let's take a look. First thing out of the bag, it won't come out. Okay, seashell necklace, perfect for the beach. Very pretty. Now I list a lot on eBay, Mercari, and Poshmark. Great for all three. Okay, this is a very pretty piece. Just trying to figure out what it's made from. I'm going to take a look at the clasp with my loop. So this is what my loop looks like. Okay, so it feels like it's made from stone. It's probably agate. So let's take a closer look at that. You can see the banding. Agate's really known for that type of banding. Now I would list this on eBay, Poshmark, and Mercari. And I would do this using a cross-posting service called List Perfectly. It's a browser extension which allows me to quickly cross-list to all the different platforms I mentioned, plus there's a ton more that you can cross-post to. So if you want to try it out for yourself, in the description below there's a 30% off the first month if you want to try it out. Okay, let's see what else we got in the bag. Ooh, yeah. Now, yeah. I remember this one. Isn't this fabulous? Nice, big, chunky statement runway piece. Metal with faceted beads. Look at that. Isn't that fabulous? Wow. Let's see. It looks like it has a hang tag. So this is the hang tag right here. It's transparent. There's a name on it, but it's not like... it's, I think it's FONO. I don't recognize that brand. I would have to look them up, but it's definitely a modern piece. I mean, look at that clasp. Isn't that great? Okay, I just love that. Okay, so we have a micro mosaic, vintage, almost antique piece. So let's take a look at that. So it's made from lots of teeny little pieces that are put together into a mosaic. And you can tell that it's antique by the clasp that's used. See the safety pin right there? It's actually in really great condition. Sometimes it'll have little pieces missing. Let's see, let's check the condition. Oh, interesting. I thought this was a micro mosaic piece, but it's not. Well, you know, it is a micro mosaic, but it has like enameling on the surface. I've never seen that before. Interesting. Okay. So, very pretty. Another pretty seashell necklace with some plastic beaded green beads. Perfect for the summer. Oh yeah, there's some really pretty pieces in here, I remember. So, we'll just talk about one at a time. Okay, so I think this is freshwater pearls, but we'll just double check. With a really pretty box clasp, multi-strand. Okay, let's take a closer look. Beautiful pink color. Okay, no information on the clasp section. Sometimes there might be a manufacturer's mark right here. And then it's definitely freshwater pearls. Very pretty piece. Okay, so this type of clasp is a fish clasp. And sometimes they're 14 karat gold. So they'll have a hallmark on them. We're just going to test this one. No, see how it's magnetic? That means it has some kind of steel in it. And that one's definitely magnetic. if it had 14 karat gold in it, it wouldn't be magnetic. Okay, so that's how you hook in the fish clasp and push it in. There you go. Nice classic look, freshwater pearls. Feels like glass beads. So I'm just checking the temperature. If they're slightly cool to the touch, then that means they're glass. If they're cold to the touch for me, and they stay cold for several seconds or longer, then that means that they could be made from stone. So we have this pretty set with the fleur-de-lis with matching earrings. Very cute. And this is a really pretty charm bracelet. With plastic beads. I like all the different types of beads that it has on there. Stretch bracelet. Ah, I remember this. Okay, yes. So this is a set. So let's take a look at this. It's very cute with the coyote. So we have brooch with matching earrings and a matching necklace. Isn't that great? Okay, so when you have a set like this is called a parure. I don't know if my pronunciation is completely correct, but it's a French word. I believe it means set, but there's also demi-parure. So if I just had the earrings and the necklace, that would be a demi-parure. I'm just laughing at myself. Okay, so it's made by, let me just double check. Oh, JJ, which is Jeanette. So the piece is vintage from 1988. Their pieces, I mean, they don't go for a ton of money, but the set was really nice, and I know that somebody will love having this set. So this is great. Okay, so this is a nice cross here with matching earrings. Oh, right. I just love this red-orange color on this necklace. And it does have a hang tag, so let's take a closer look at that. So it's Kenneth Lane. We have a little bit of damage, so I'll show that to you, where the cord has been worn. All the pieces I sell go on to eBay, Mercari, and Poshmark. Now, vintage pieces will go on to Etsy if I can determine a decade in which they were made. So let's say I have a piece from the 1950s, then I could list that on Etsy under the 1950s. Etsy is looking for specific time periods, so I need to be able to determine when that time period is. Yeah, I like the way that one looks. It has a nice design. Okay, so it's not vintage. It's a pretty brooch. Okay, so this is a cute pendant. I find pendants all the time. And I like to pick them up because people enjoy matching a pendant to a necklace that they already have. So I'll show you the back. This is Premier Design. It's got a hallmark on the back. Let me see if it will show up. Oh, there it is, right there. So it has a P and a D with a little crown above it. And then it looks like leaves on either side. So it's very distinctive. Once you learn it, you can pick it up. Okay, great. So a vintage dress clip. So you can tell it's a dress clip or a scarf clip by the hinge. I really like the modern looking design on that. Okay, speaking of pendants, I like this one with the dichromatic glass on there. See how reflective that is? I don't think it has any manufacturer's mark on it. Oh, it's really cool looking. It's layered. It has a layer of images on top, and then on the underside it has another layer. Really neat. Okay. So I'm not familiar with this brand, Lona and Lily. I got it just because it was an interesting construction with the braiding and then the beading. Okay, cool. All right, so we have a vintage bracelet. It's also called a panel bracelet. So what that means is each individual section here is considered a panel. Some of the times the panels will be longer. And it looks like, it's incomplete. We're missing a connector. So there's usually a fold over clasp that would connect and it would be attached to this side. So it's missing. Okay, that will definitely go in a craft lot. Oop, got two. Okay, so let's put one back. Okay, so this is a really pretty freshwater pearl necklace with a fish clasp. Okay, it's magnetic. I like the design with the gold tone beads in between the pearls. Okay, it looks like a vintage or even antique pin, maybe from the Elks Club. I'd have to do a little research on the imagery. It does have a little bit of patina or corrosion there, so I'd have to clean that up. It might not be usable, but I clean it up first and see. So I really like this necklace. It looks like a choker length, so like 14 to 16 inches. It's adjustable, and I like the different sizes of the rhinestones and that they're smoky colored. So they're not clear. I mean, they're clear, but they're not colorless. They have kind of a purplish color to them. And the plastic has a crackle on them too. I don't know if you can see that. Yeah, you can see it right here. Oh, this is really pretty. Let's just check this out. Checking to see how cold it feels. Okay, definitely a stone. I'm not sure which kind of stone it is, but it's just gorgeous. Let's see. And I don't think it's vintage. It has a lot of this texture on the back and the, well, you know what? I'd have to, it could be vintage because the bar here is bent. You see that? And when you have the bar be straight, a little bit of the tip sticks out. So that's a clue that it could be vintage, like 1980s, 1990s. But usually it doesn't have that texture on the back. Okay, fun. I like the enameling here. It has a nice modern feeling to it. So that would definitely be a statement pendant. And I'm not familiar with the pendant. It feels like maybe a plastic or resin. Okay, different. Okay, we got our leaf pendant with the nice texture. Okay, so with the backing on here, you see the construction right here on the clasp where it has this little square section. This is vintage. I have thought that this is like 1980s, 1990s, but I'm not really 100% sure on that one. So it's always interesting learning about vintage. Okay. I thought this was a really pretty design. There is an image and then it has a resin coating on top. So this looks vintage to me with the clasp. Looks like 1980s, 1990s. Oh, nice. Okay. Okay, so definitely vintage. It has that C-class which tarnish, and this really nice braided chain. And the cameo is made from a resin, so that tells me this is from the 1980s. The other thing that tells me it's from the 1980s is because it can be worn as a brooch or a pendant. And also, again, that little, the end is just sticking out a little bit from the bar. So that's another clue. And it has a very particular color to it, which was familiar from the 1980s. So for this one, I would definitely put this up on 80s because I could determine the age on it. And I would do that using List Perfectly. So List Perfectly, like I mentioned earlier, is a cross-listing service. And if you want to try it for yourself, there's a link in the description below that will give you 30% off your first month. All right, so we have a couple more pieces in the bag. Okay, very nice design. I really like the design on here. It's an imitation pearl. It's definitely vintage. It says Taiwan. Taiwan is 1990s, 1980s. Okay, I really like the way this looks. Look at the design on that. Isn't that great? And the, I think it's resin is being held in place by the prongs here. Let's look on the back. Okay, it's vintage. We got the bar sticking out from the end of the clasp here. And it has a manufacturer on there, which I don't recognize right there. Let's see. Let's check it to see if it's silver. The clasp looks good. Okay. Let's do our magnet check. Okay. Definitely magnetic. Okay, so it's not silver. And then I just want to see, I think it's resin. You know what? It's cool to the touch, but not cold. So I'm thinking it's glass. Yeah, it looks like glass. Okay, it's really pretty. Oh, wow, we have another one of these. Okay, so it's a different pendant on this one. So this is a zodiac. So this is for Virgos. Okay, all right. Okay, so here is another example of a vintage panel bracelet. You have the fold-over clasp. Opens like that. It looks like that when it's spread out. And then each section, that's a panel. Looks like rhinestones. And you can see how the back looks. It doesn't have that like dots on it. That's another sign that it's vintage. Okay, so we have just a fun, whimsical piece here. Oh, it does have a little discoloration on the ears. And it's a Hallmark piece. Looks like 1980s. with that little clasp like that. So it's a button. Okay, I don't know how that got in there. Monogrammed, and let's see, the manufacturer is Waterbury Company, Connecticut. It's an older button, definitely, because with the way this loop is, but I don't know that much about buttons. Okay, fun. One last piece. Oh, how lovely are you? You are so lovely. Look at you. Oh, it's gorgeous. Okay, so this is a beautiful sterling silver pendant. Let's check the chain. Okay, it feels like it could be silver. Let's see. It's not magnetic. Okay, not magnetic either. So I'll show you the different parts to this. Oh, okay. You see how delicate that chain is? That can be a sign that it's well made. And then you have this beautiful layered pendant. I'll check the stone in a minute. It looks like glass. It doesn't look like turquoise. And then you have, it's marked sterling on the back. So I'll move it so you can see. Okay. And then sometimes it'll be marked sterling here next to the clasp, but I'm not seeing anything. Okay. All right, let's just do a little look at the blue piece. It looks like glass, which is odd to have in a sterling silver piece. You'd think they want to have stone in there. But it heated up pretty quick in my hand. Okay. Well, that's a nice piece to end with, though. Very, very pretty. All right. Thank you so much for watching. If you'd like to try List Perfectly for yourself, there's a link below in the description that will give you 30% off your first month. If you enjoyed the video, give us a like and hit the subscribe button if you would like to see more videos like this in the future. Okay, thanks so much. Bye-bye.